I really enjoy making a desk setup, but if there's one thing I really love about it, it's picking the right accessories to go with it. And it was about 3 months ago now I showed you what my favourite desk accessories were at the time, but things have changed since then, and I did promise to turn this into a series if things do change, so I think now is a great time to update you all on what I've been using. Of course, I'll link everything I can in the description below, and without any further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, first off, we've got to talk about this Anker 3-in-1 charger for iPhone, Apple Watch and AirPods. And I've been looking for a charger that does all three of those things for the longest time, but all of them I've generally found to look kind of ugly, or they're just not quite what I was after. But then I saw this one on the Apple Store of all places, and the second I saw it I was like, oh my god, I've got to have it. And one of the reasons is because it's so well designed. Basically this is a cube, but you flip up this top bit which acts as your MagSafe charger, and then you can push out this side bit which then acts as the Apple Watch charger, and then on the back where you've lifted up the previous MagSafe charger, you've actually got a space for your AirPods Pro to go in there, and it all charges up really well, really nicely, and at the proper speeds and all those sorts of things. And it's just been such a little gem of an item. You may have already seen me talk about it on Instagram or even on here on my YouTube shorts before, but yeah, this thing is amazing. The only thing I will say about it though, this is very much a luxury item. This was like really expensive technically for what it does. I think it was about £150, but actually it's one of the first things that I've ever seen which I've seen and then bought kind of immediately. I was like, oh my god, that's the one I've been looking for. It's really, really awesome. You do get a charger and wire in the box, which so you should at that price point, but this is a really wonderful charger if you are in the Apple ecosystem and you've got all the bits. This does it all, and I really, really like it. Okay, next up is this laptop stand from Ugmonk, and I've actually been looking for a laptop stand for the longest time. I've had little ones before which have always felt okay but never done the job really nicely, and more importantly while looking good, and this one from Ugmonk is really, really nice. It's really simple, it's just two bits of metal held together with a piece of wood in the middle, and it just fits any laptop onto it really, really nicely. This is part of Ugmonk's Gather collection which is coming soon. I was really lucky to be able to try this out early, so thank you to them for sending it out. But if you're looking for a way to mount your laptop in a really kind of nice manner, then this is a really excellent way of doing it. I will admit though, it's usually quite rare for me to use a laptop stand because I've got a Mac Studio and the iPad is usually in place there, but for the times when I do need it, or if you're just looking for a laptop stand which is really nice, this is going to be my go-to from now on. It's really, really nice. Okay, this wouldn't be a desk accessory video unless I talked about keyboards, and I've got two to show you today, and they're both from Lofi. And I've got to admit, I absolutely love what Lofi or Lofi or however you pronounce it are doing at the moment. I think they're making some really, really fantastic keyboards. And the first one I want to show you today is the Halo 75 in matte black. Now, matte black isn't a color I would usually go for in a desk setup. This is very much a light mode style of setup, but this one is really, really nice. Lofi have kind of done such a good job with keeping everything just looking so sleek and so nice, and again so nicely designed. As usual, there's loads of features here. It's fully RGB if you're into that, and there's like a side light which goes around it which is really nice, which helps light up the keyboard. There's a Windows and Mac switch, so you can switch depending on what you're using. There's Bluetooth and 2.4G and all of those sorts of things, and there's some new switches in here too. These are the night black switches which are really nice to type on. They're nice and clicky but actually really, really quiet, so you could probably get away with typing in the middle of the night here and no one would hear you. These keys sound great, and they've also done some work with the spacebar to make it sound really nice too. But yeah, it's a wonderful keyboard, really nice to type on, and having the extra function row at the top over my other keyboard has been really nice. However, the keyboard which I've now defaulted to pretty much for absolutely everything I'm doing is the Halo 65, and this is such a wonderful keyboard. It's the perfect size. I love the look of it, the design of it. You know, the kind of light theme for it is just absolutely wonderful. For all intents and purposes, it is the same keyboard as the other one I just showed you, but it's just got a function row less. So the layout is very similar and all those sorts of things. This has got Gatron Pro brown switches in it, which I really like, but I got to admit, I'm pretty open to all switches. There's not any I really dislike. I find blues a bit too clicky, but browns seem to have this good happy medium, which I really, really enjoy. I have defaulted to using the Halo 65, but I know the 75 in that matte black colour is going to be really popular with some people that just want a bit more space, so be sure to check that out too. Something else which I keep at my desk, or at least in my drawer, is The Guardian Weekly, which I'm really happy to say is sponsoring this video. The Guardian Weekly is a magazine that prioritises the past 7 days' most memorable content with world news, opinion pieces and long-form reads, and it takes you beyond the headlines to give you a deeper understanding of the issues that really matter, opening up the way you see the world. It's all framed with wonderful photography and insightful companion pieces, all handpicked from The Guardian and The Observer, and it's delivered right to your doorstep, anywhere in the world, every week. Each issue opens up with the Global Report, which serves as an ideal catch-up for the most pressing news from around the planet. And if you're into culture and tech, like most of us here are, there's always interesting articles to dig into. I'm constantly looking at a screen for work, whether it's a MacBook, iPad or desktop, so relaxing to a well laid out magazine is a really nice break to have. Not to mention the cover artwork for each issue is always really impressive and thought-provoking. If you're a student, then it's actually a really great piece for references for assignments, and there's often loads of information on emerging and up-to-date topics like data security and the climate crisis. For the festive season, The Guardian are offering 50% off a Christmas gifting subscription for anyone you care about, so follow the link in the description below to go and check it out. And of course, a huge thank you goes over to The Guardian for sponsoring this video. Okay, next up, and I promise I'm not trying to squeeze Pokemon into every single one of these videos, it just happens to keep happening, and it's this keycap I got from Keycap Agency. This is a Squirtle keycap, which is absolutely gorgeous. I saw this online, I think I saw it on Instagram, and I saw it and I was like, oh my god, not only does it fit my setup really well, which is obviously very important to me, but it's just so detailed, it's so nicely done. They've got all the major kind of players in Pokemon there. I was really tempted for the Pikachu one, but didn't quite fit the keyboard quite well. So go and have a look. I hope they're still selling them. When I bought it, it seemed to be on some sort of limited run, but I'm honestly not sure. It took ages to arrive as well. I think it came from Vietnam. But honestly, so nice, fills me with joy every time I look down, and it's just awesome. And it should fit any keyboard with those kind of cross mechanical switches. It just popped onto all of mine, no problem at all. For the final item, I think this is going to stay on my desk for the long haul. It's actually been fantastic so far, and I was really excited when they announced it. This is the 8BitDo Ultimate Controller, and this is for Switch and PC or anything like that, but it actually works fine on my Mac and iPad as well. I've been using the SN30 Pro from 8BitDo for probably over a year now, maybe a little bit longer, and it is really great, but it's quite cramped. And if you're going for longer play sessions, there's actually nowhere to kind of grip it on the bottom. So after about half an hour, my hands get a bit achy and all that sort of thing. But when I saw 8BitDo announce this, I knew this was the one to go for. And there's a couple of reasons for that. This has kind of got the Xbox style controller, which I'm really used to and I really like. It's actually got some customizable buttons on the back as well, which is really cool. It's all USB-C, but it does have a big party trick, which I was really excited about. It actually comes with a stand, and the stand charges it as well. So you can just pop that on, and it will charge right back up to where it needs to be. Not only is that just a stand either, which looks great on the desk, which is why I like it, of course, but within that stand is actually the 2.4 gigahertz receiver. So if you want to put that into the back of your Mac or PC or anything like that, you can do that, and then if you take it to someone else's house or something like that, you've got a nice little cubby hole to store that in, and it's just really nice. I play a lot of Switch sitting here at the desk, and very occasionally I'll turn on my PC too, so it's nice to just have a dedicated controller for that. And on the odd time I do play games on the Mac, which is so rare, but on the times that I do, it's nice that I can just turn this on and it starts getting used straight away. Also, what I wanted to shout out as well, and this seems like a ridiculous thing to shout out, but the D-pad on it is fantastic. I find the D-pad on the Switch controllers themselves are generally pretty bad. On the Joy-Cons, they're pretty awful. And on the Switch Pro controller, it's a little bit small and a bit close to the kind of the thumbstick. But on here, it's perfect. And it's like this old school sort of style one that we all like, we're all used to, and we know it works. So that's the last thing I wanted to show. And it's just been so nice, so comfortable for long play sessions. And it's just a really decent controller. And the fact that it comes with a stand means this is a classic desk item, and it's going to sit on mine, I know, for the longest time. As ever, I like to leave you with a bonus thing, so I am going to talk about this one last thing, and this is the Lofi station, which is playing on this screen at the moment. This is something I've made recently. It's called Kuroku Radio, and it's a Lofi station. I've loved Lofi for the longest time, And now I finally decided to make some with the help of a few friends, and there's no shortcuts here, there's no kind of templates or compositional tools or anything like that. It's all been handwritten, handmade, and the animation is all handmade as well. It's about 46 minutes of it at the moment, so if you want to check it out, I'll link it in the description below. But yeah, this is something I just wanted to give out there as someone who just loves lo-fi music, especially when I'm working, especially when I'm sitting at my desk. It's my own addition to it. So if you like it, go subscribe, go check it out, let me know what you think. So that rounds up a bunch of desk items which I've really been loving recently since the last time I made this video. I'll update this video again in a few months' time if something else pops up which I think is really awesome, or if things change here. And as ever, I love to hear your suggestions, so pop them in the comments below, let me know what you think, if there's anything I should check out. Always love to do that. And of course, I will see you all in the next one.